We arrived in Valencia Friday afternoon, checked into the hotel, and got an early night before my final run of the marathon training block. Okay, shakeout run, let's go! Start the shakeout run. If this is what it's going to be like tomorrow for the race, where I can't even run yet, then I'm a little bit scared of how we're going to get going. So I'm with Freddie, who's going to be ably assisting, holding the camera for me tomorrow. I can hold it for myself today on the shakeout run. I'm doing a shakeout to ease my legs out from the travel yesterday, because I felt awful this morning, so this is helping me out. And we've dived away from the main shakeout group because there's thousands of people. And it's a little bit scary because I kind of guess that's what I'm going to have at the start tomorrow. It makes me really nervous because I was completely out of control of my own pace. I really couldn't do anything. So if that's what happens tomorrow morning, I just need to not panic. Big reason for the shakeout is I'm running 5-minute Ks at the moment, which is a lot slower than I need to run for the marathon. And it feels quite hard. And I sort of remember this from my previous pro career, getting off the plane to compete somewhere, and you've got to get out and get a run done, even though you don't want to waste the energy, because you feel rubbish, and this helps. Shakeout was done and there was nothing left to do except race. All of the pre-race nerves I'd experienced in my professional career had come flooding back, so I just tried to zone out and relax, not very successfully, whilst also being surrounded by thousands of other marathoners at the expo. My hands were shaking as I got my bib. It all started to feel so real, and all of the months of training had come to this point. And all I could do was eat, sleep, and then put my kit on, walk to the start line, and give it everything that I had. I really wasn't ready for going back to race Andy. I know I was only racing myself, no one else cared about it, but I don't think I'd realised how much pressure I'd feel from all of the amazing messages of support that I'd had from people like you watching running channel videos. That put pressure on me that maybe it shouldn't have done, and I was just so nervous when I was out here. How am I feeling? Been awake for a long time, let's just say that. The anticipation is real. I'm not feeling ready. I was nervous that I was going to let people down. I was nervous that I wasn't going to finish, and I just really struggled to deal with that. The start happened in a complete blur for me. The thing that I've been waiting for all of a sudden was on me, and it happened really fast. Months of training, all the doubts. Now we've crossed the start line at the Valencia Marathon 2023 to start my first ever marathon. Let's go. Being surrounded by this mass of people, everyone kind of jostling for position. From a sensory perspective, I think overwhelming is the best word. It's so hard to run your own race. There's hordes of people all going faster than I want to be running. So, just trying to hold back. The plan was to get 5k out of the way and not worry too much about the time, but definitely not run too fast. I was aiming for between 4:15 and 4:30 per kilometre for the first 5k. Inside the first 4k, just trying to keep it steady. Okay, it's a 5k time check. I feel good. I've been really fighting to hold back because there's this sea of people carrying me along, but I was about 21:40 at 5k there. This is part of my pacing plan, slightly outside that, and we'll see how we go. My fueling plan was to do what I practiced in training, which was to take a gel at 7k and then every 5 or 6k from that point on. So I had 6 gels with me. It tastes like cough syrup. Date, lemon and ginger, living the dream. And I was going to take water little and often. This was the big learning that I had from my longest run. I messed it up and I forgot to take water on. So I decided I was going to take a little bit of water on every single time that water was offered to me. Just inside 42.40 in 10k. My watch has me a little quicker, so I've got to be aware of that kind of drift on the GPS. Feel okay? But I know it's going to start to bite because I've still got 32k to go. So that's as far as I can run. So let's keep going. To wind our way past the 3-hour paces. There was a big roadblock because we started a bit further back in our wave. It's actually quite hard to get past them. It's like 15k. That's a bit chaotic and it's getting really busy. Well, about 20:20 for the last 5k, which I'm really pleased with. So I think I've just got to keep ticking out that pace. Doesn't feel that hard on my chest, but my legs are already starting to get a little bit tired.
Because I was doing so much weaving, my watch actually in terms of the kilometre markers was beeping a little bit early. So I was trying to take my time off the course markers. And actually that mental arithmetic kept me going. I deliberated long and hard about exactly what I was going to wear, but I'd gone for vest and shorts. All of the gels were in the pockets of my shorts. I'd worn arm sleeves because I didn't want to have to take a long sleeve off. And then I was wearing the New Balance Super Comp Elite V3, which I'd done all of my faster running in.
Halfway time check, 1:27.07. I don't know what that means. I mean, I can do the maths, but I don't know that I'm going to be able to hold on to this, so just keep going. Let's do this!
From 20 to 25k, I really pushed the pace on. And part of the reason for doing it is my historical knee injury, and I was a little bit worried about it. And generally, the faster I run, the better it feels. So that was my tactic, was to push the pace a bit harder, and hopefully that would kind of sort out my mechanics a little bit as well.
25k, just over 1:42. So I really rolled that one, which was the plan. Just hoping I haven't gone too deep. That is hard.
As I got to 25k, this is when the reality of just how far a marathon is hit me. The fact that I still had 17k to go, the initial, like, you might get cramp. I could sort of feel the kind of fluttering of my calves. And so I did ease off the pace a little bit. And that made a massive difference actually from 25 to 30k. I still felt like I was under control.
I'm getting hot. Time check, 30k. Oh man. Basically 20 minutes on the nose for that one. I was too ambitious, from 20 to 25k. So I reined it back in to try and recover, but...
What I couldn't believe at this point, I was hurting more probably than I've hurt before. It's a totally different kind of pain to run a marathon than to run for 3.5 minutes flat out. But I took real confidence and pride by the fact that I'd actually managed to get to this point. So I'd done this 16-week training plan with Runna, and the confidence that that gave me to actually just keep going and to run the kilometre that I was in, I was confident that I'd done the right thing in the prep and I couldn't have done any more. So I just needed to keep putting one foot in front of the other and ultimately hope that I would carry on all the way to the finish.
Okay, so we've gone past 32k. That means I'm officially now into the unknown. I've never run this before. And the team said to me, don't do this before 32k, but once you pass it, you have to do a giveaway. So make sure you subscribe to the running channel, hit like, and drop us a comment, whatever you want, an emoji, support. The fact that you hate marathons as much as I do right now, and you could be with a chance of winning a year's subscription to the Runna app, or a head-to-toe New Balance kit, including the Super Comp Elite V3, which is what I'm wearing right now. Pace update. Just inside 2:23, I think, at 35k. I'm in bits though, slowing right down. Calves are cramping. Right, park run territory now, Andy. This is your forte. 5.2k to go. I've never felt this kind of pain everywhere.
The switch then from let's just keep ticking it out 1k at a time was, oh God, I'm not going to finish. I thought, oh, if I walk, then that might give me a chance to like just recover a little bit and get back into it. But then I was also really worried that if I walk, I might cramp up more. This is the point of self-discovery. I know I have the mindset to run fast for a short period of time, but I genuinely have never had to find out if I can keep going. And then Freddie had been running with me the whole way, and actually there was a point where we rounded a bend at around about 39 kilometers. And he was just in front of me, so I don't think he saw this happen, but my hamstring cramped so bad, I like almost jumped straight up in the air, and then I had to stop and stretch it off. And I was so cross that I had to stop. I felt like I'd failed in some way to stop running, to stop putting one foot in front of the other.
Come on, you can deal with the pain when you finish.
I wasn't even looking ahead, I wasn't even looking into the distance. I was just looking at the floor in front of me, and I was just one step, one foot in front of the other, 100 meters, 200 meters, just ticking the kilometers off, but they were going so slowly, so painfully slowly. A small, tiny part of me was like, oh my God, I've run 40K. Like this sense of pride, but then that was immediately squashed by this self-doubt nagging away, and the fact that every few 100 meters I would almost have to flick my leg out or run in a really strange way just to avoid the cramp grabbing it so hard that I'd have to stop and stretch it off again.
Andy just dealing with some cramps at the moment, but we are so close. We're within 2K. He's got this. He's just going to push through. It's the most I've ever hurt in anything.
And then at that point as well, I saw Rick, and that was a massive lift. Like he shouted something at me, I don't know what it was, but I remember smiling for the first time in at least 5K. Freddie was with me the whole way, and I definitely would have stopped a lot more and probably walked a lot more, and maybe not even finished if Freddie hadn't been running with me. He was giving me this incredible support.
Come on, Andy, you got this. There's Tom and Sarah, come on. I've got absolutely nothing. No, you have. You've got a bit left. Come on. There's always a bit more left, Andy. Come on. Last kilometre now, Andy.
Inside that last kilometre, it's signposted every 100 metres. And that was I was so glad that it was. I had it on my watch and I knew exactly how far it was to go, but seeing each 100 metres pass by, I felt like it was within reach, it was within touching distance.
Come on, 500 metres.
At this point, the finish line was so close, but it still felt a million miles away. And it came down to all the hours in the gym, all the time spent on the roads and on the trails, the short runs, the long runs I never thought I'd be able to do, and all fitted in around busy life, parenting 3 children who were at the forefront of my mind as I tried to reach the finish.
Covered in sweat. So, without a doubt, the hardest thing that I've ever done. That last 7K. I wanted to walk, I wanted to stop. I kept going.
It's all right. Sub-3 marathon in the bag.
Thanks, Freddie. High five. I couldn't have done it without you.
I'm not sure about that.
Big shout out to all the running channel viewers that have been leaving me amazing messages of support. So if that's you, you know who you are. Thank you. Please carry on. Drop in a comment. You could be in a chance of winning.
Thank you very much.
The medal I've worked the hardest for, and maybe even the most satisfying. I don't know. Right now I feel dizzy and like I'm going to pass out. That's me. Done.
My name's Andy, and I ran a marathon for the first time. Massive thanks to New Balance and Runna for supporting me on the journey to my first marathon. I'm incredibly grateful that we could all share it together. What's next? Please don't set me any ridiculous challenges, but maybe drop a comment to let me know what you think I should take on in 2024. But before you do anything, you should check out this video where Tom took on his first marathon.